Hello gamers, welcome to a new video. This time around I want to talk to you about my preparation for Shadowlands and what I would recommend for you to do before Shadowlands hits on Monday. There are multiple steps to this guide, some are more important, some are less important, and I don't necessarily think you should do all the things that I did to prepare, but some of them are definitely super useful and I would recommend it to do for everyone. Let's get started. The first thing you have to do before you even worry about the nicks and necks of one specific character is just a decision. How many characters do you want to play and what covenants will they join? There are multiple attempts to solve this problem. One of them I've watched some of my guild members do. They main one class and that class only. And for them, the most useful choice, raid-wise, is to just level 4 characters of the same kind. So they can join all the 4 different covenants. You don't get that much added benefit from that, in my opinion. But if you're only focused on one class and that class only, that may be a good strategy if you want to play in the top 5% of a player base. Because then you don't have to worry about Blizzard adjusting covenants or maybe just changing them overall and your chosen covenant that was best before is now shitty. You don't have to worry about that if you just maintain 4 characters of the same class. Once again, a big disclaimer, I don't recommend that. I don't think the benefit is worth it, but for people who are only playing one class, that's maybe a good choice. The other thing that I will be doing is to level multiple characters for the same role. So for example, I'm the main tank of our guild, and therefore I'll have to level multiple tanks because they fulfill completely different roles in some fights, and just have a toolkit that fits one fight better than the other. For me, it will be a Guardian Druid and a Blood Decay. They are somewhat different in terms of their specialities in the raid. For example, the Blood Decay has just incredible self-sustain, and he has a lot of control over the raid with his Death Grip, with his Mass Grip, with stuns, with AMZ. And all those things just combine to a tank that can fulfill that niche of controlling mobs that you definitely want in your raid. The other character, my Guardian Druid, has 2 reasons for it to be played. One of them, of course, is that I just love my Druid. As many of you know, I've played Druid for several years now. I really love it and it's just so much fun. The problem with it is that it doesn't have the utility a DK has. Yes, I have fairly good self-sustain as well, and my damage is okay, but that's where it ends, basically. I don't have stuff like Grip or AMZ or any raid-wide utility other than Stampeding Roar, which is a cooldown that all druids have now, so that's not really a reason to take one. Why do I choose that character then when there are other tanks that are better in doing those things? It's simply because I have to talk to my co-tank here. My co-tank will play other 2 tanks. He will play a monk and he will play a paladin. Paladins just have a huge damage output, and in damage check fights you want to have that in your group. You want to have as much damage as possible, and then a paladin is a good choice because yeah, he's a little bit squishier than other tanks, but he dishes out a whole lot of damage. And that's where my druid comes in, because then my druid can do some fairly good damage as well, but it's also very, very tanky. And so I can just take some of the pressure off my paladin and then have my Guardian Druid take the brunt of the damage. And for Monk, he will be perfect in combination with my DK, because his Monk is super tanky as well, and it's just a very solid tank. While my DK is a little bit squishier, it brings the utility that the Monk may be lacking. So, the other thing you want to do here is to do the Shadowlands pre-quest. That's a very necessary step to do in order to get into Shadowlands as quickly as possible. It doesn't take too long. You can even skip it on alts. But for your first character, you should definitely start with the first expansion quests here in Orgrimmar. So before Shadowlands hits at 12 PM in Europe, the night from Monday to Tuesday, you want to park all your characters here so you can start as quickly as possible. So, what next? When you've decided what characters you want to play and you park them all here in Orgrimmar, the next thing you want to do is buying equipment for them. I don't talk about like the best gear in every slot. I talk about other stuff that just makes your journey through Shadowlands as fast as possible. Because keep in mind, that's our goal here. We want to level as fast as possible. If you just want to... Oh my god, I got infected. If you just want to level smoothly through the experience and just want to take it all in, this may not be the guide for you, because here we just want to talk about how to do it as quickly as possible. Okay, there's apparently a possibility to heal yourself from this disease. Let me check. Oh, nice. Okay. Just so that the guide doesn't get disrupted too much, I just had to do that quickly. Okay, so what are some of the things that you want in your bags if you want to level as quickly as possible? One of them is mount equipment. There are several mount equipments that are viable. There's one for water walking. I wouldn't recommend that just because Shadowlands doesn't have a lot of water, so that would be kind of wasted. The other two options that there are lightweight horseshoes or something equivalent, just so you have either the plus 20% movement speed or you have the ability to not get dismounted. Those things are super important and help a lot when you're just riding through the area, because as you might remember, oh my god, just let me get out of here. Let's check out the other auction house. Because if you might remember, you are not able to fly in Shadowlands yet. That will come later in the expansion. You have to ride everywhere, and getting dismounted is a pain in the ass, you can believe me. Okay, the other thing you want to have, of course, are, and you may remember that from the BFA starting experience. Oh, I'm in the wrong building. You want to have the Goblin glider kits. Many of you already have them. I don't have them on my DK yet, so that's why I'm buying them. And they're just super useful in leveling when you're jumping from a mountain and just want to bypass a big area. And especially important in the maw, because in the maw you can't use your mounts, and just getting from one place to another takes so much time. And that's why I'm getting these Goblin glider kits to help me out a little bit. Other things you might want to have are gun shoes. Gun shoes, once again, for the mobility. They have a 3-minute cooldown, and then they bring you forward a whole lot. They're fucking expensive though. Let's see if we can get them later at a better price, maybe from some of my guildmates, or if I can craft them myself, because you don't want to spend 260 per gun shoe. That's a whole lot, and I don't recommend. Maybe it's less expensive on your server. Maybe I gave you some ideas how you could get some gold before Shadowlands, but just buying them out and putting them in a whole lot more expensive. We'll have to see about that. I have more gold on my other characters, so I may have to log around just to get all the stuff done. But we'll see. We have a few more days. Okay, another thing you want to have, and I can't stress this enough, are abyssal healing potions. Leveling will be hard, and you want to do it as quickly as possible, and dying is not an option. So what you want to have are just... Let me just get some more. Oh, there are not more than 92 healing potions at the auction house. Well, I guess I'm just taking those then. And yeah, you just want to have the ability to heal yourself so you don't die. It's basically that easy. Another thing that is important, at least in my opinion, are Flasks and Pots. I think it's called Undertow. Yeah, it is. I'll take Strength Flasks on this character, of course, because it's a DK and Strength based. You want to take the other attributes for other characters, obvious. I would recommend about 40 Flasks, maybe. Just because not only do you want to have them for the leveling experience, but also for the first or maybe the second lockout. Just because the regular consumables in the first weeks will be a whole lot more expensive than these are right now. And you don't want to come into a situation where you have to spend 10,000s of gold just to get through your raid evening. The same is true for DPS pots. Those are called Potion of Unbridled Fury for me. And I'll take about 100 from them as well. They don't cost a lot. If you don't end up using them, that's fine as well. I just want to be prepared. Okay, there are other things, other consumables that could be important for your journey through of the Shadowlands, but these were the most important in my opinion. One thing I might add, it's not that important on this character, but there are gemstones that give you movement speed. And those could be great as well, but I suppose that you would benefit more from just socketing DPS and yeah, just take the improved damage output over a little bit more of movement speed. Because I don't think those pieces will last long either, because you will just pick up better gear throughout the leveling experience and then those are gone anyway. Okay, now let's come to the consumables that may not be super important, but can still be used. And that's just plain old buff food. I'm using versatility here just for a little bit more durability. So I'll pick some of that up as well. And I'll also use augmentation rune. Or augment runes? What are they called here? They just give you a little bit more of your main stat, and therefore, once again, boost your damage output. I don't think they are super important, but they're still useful. There's a permanent rune that you can buy with Exalted Reputation at the Rajani, and you can use that unlimited, so that's why I'm not just buying these augment runes here. So if you have that, just remember to use that. Other things that might be important are drums for Bloodlust, and maybe Bear Tartar is a good alternative as well to regular buff food, just because that food buff gives you speed after killing an enemy, which is, I think, far more useful than the socketed movement speed. But you might decide that for yourself. I'll pick some of that up as well. Oh, not 200, just like 20. Okay, other things. Now we're getting to a place away from consumables and just general prep again. One of the things that is most important is to clean up your bags. I have so much unused shit here in my bags that I will never use. Like here, these ny'alotha texts. I can use them for my essences. I haven't played a lot of this character. This is rank 3, and all the other ones of them are useless. I can just delete them. Other things I might not ever use. This Feast of Ribs, you get that from the little chests you get after doing PvP. I don't need that, I can sell that. Just clean up your bags as far as possible so you don't have to stop and sell stuff everywhere along the way. Also, when you're maybe picking up gathering professions and wanna collect as many reagents as possible to sell them on the auction house or to craft pots with them or stuff like that. It's also important to have enough space in your bags so you don't have to send them to your bank character or stuff like that. Okay. Or another thing you want to have, and now we're getting to the nitty-gritty of it, is battle pets. There are world quests still in Shadowlands, and as far as I know, there will still be pet battle quests. So having a collection of level 25 battle pets is something I would definitely recommend for those. Other things that may be important are, for example, here, your talent setup, that you're best prepared for leveling, that you've turned War Mode on for just 10% more XP bonus, which is incredibly powerful, so definitely remember to turn War Mode on. And yeah, that's basically all the things I can think of right now. There may be others, but I think those are the most important. So just keep in mind to... oh god, I got infected again. So just keep in mind to do this before you log in for the leveling experiences in Shadowlands. I would also recommend, if you haven't thought of that yourself, don't just log in at like 23:30 on Monday and expect that everything will go fine and you can start at 12 o'clock. Most likely you'll have to log on at least 1 or 2 hours before that and just wait, so you don't get stuck in login queue or something like that. So I would definitely recommend to get on a little bit earlier. Grab yourself some drinks, grab yourself something to eat. You want to have a long night ahead of you. And with the tips I gave you in this guide video, I think that will be a fun experience and an efficient experience. This is only one of the videos you'll see in this guide, because I'll make some more videos regarding Covenant choice, where to level, what points you want to hit in your leveling, so you don't end up short on experience at after finishing all the story quests and stuff like that. So if you like that, just subscribe, stay tuned, and you will get all of this information as well. But for now, thank you for watching and good luck for preparing in Shadowlands, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.